Good morning. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our Friday morning Lenten reading, I guess we could call it. My name is Juan, and I'm one of the ministers at Unity on the Bay, and it is a pleasure to join you this morning and share with you about the Lenten reading that we are moving through. Now, I'm just waiting for me to show up on my own Facebook to know that you all can see me. Let's see here. So good morning again. Just waiting for me to pop up on Facebook here. Well, we're going to trust that it's going to take place any second now. But, during this time, we are reading from the Lenten booklet published by Unity World Headquarters, which you can go on our website and find a way to download it for free. And you can read along with us on Wednesdays and Fridays. Reverend Chris comes on Wednesdays. I come on Fridays to do the day's reading and just share maybe a few words about what it means to us. I also remind you that on Mondays in the late afternoon, Chris has Shelf Discovery, and then on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8:30 in the morning, I do some live meditations. But we're going to get started, and today's reading really invites us to be a part of releasing so that we can receive. And that's what Lent is really about for us when we look at it metaphysically, is this time of preparation before Easter, where we get to look at what it is that we want to release, what it is that we want to surrender, so that we can make space for what is being birthed through us. And so today's reading from the booklet for Friday, March 18th, reads like this. The affirmation is, I release any apathy or boredom. The challenges of recent years have left many of us feeling overwhelmed, especially those who are sensitive and empathic. Experiencing our own pain and upset, in addition to feeling compassion for the plight of others, can be too much to bear. So we shut down, like the apostles who fell asleep in the Garden of Gethsemane. There are two words for this numb and detached condition. Apathy is lack of interest or concern. Sleepiness. Its cousin, acedia, is spiritual listlessness or sloth. We may cope by not feeling our feelings, giving in to distractions and retreating from the world. Short term, this strategy can work. Long term, it diminishes our ability to feel joy, compassion, and empathy, qualities that enrich our lives and the lives of others. We pray for awareness of our spiritual and mental condition and how best to renew and thrive. We allow ourselves to be wrapped in the comfort and the healing love of God. And it was inspired from Ephesians chapter 5, verse 14. Therefore it says, sleeper, awake, rise from the dead, and Christ will shine on you. And so I first say good morning to Carmelo and John and Oscar for joining us, and those that are watching that may not have commented yet. But, I invite you to think about what this reading inspires in you. The affirmation being, I release any apathy or boredom. Are there areas in our lives where we may be experiencing some apathy, and we may be experiencing some boredom, but if we really ask ourselves where it comes from, it may be of just being overwhelmed, of not knowing where to look, not knowing what to do. And so, it's happened to me before. I get so unsure about what my next steps are that I sit on my couch, slouch, and become that sloth that the reading mentions. But when we really open ourselves up to what's really going on and really checking in with ourselves as to why we may not be wanting to engage with the world or the things that are happening outside of us, we can uh, usually find that there is some resistance, some desire to almost like spiritual bypass or just bypass what is going on. And part of spirituality for me is not only being centered and not only knowing that the power and the truth lie within us, but to really look at how we are sharing that with the world. And so, yes, we're of the spiritual world, but we also experience the human world of the senses, and how we can bring our spiritual centeredness to the external world, I think is key. I am reminded of the quote that many of you may already know, and I don't know it verbatim, but that poem by Rumi that just says that all the emotions, all the feelings really are just guests that we're inviting into our living room, and they come and they go. One of the things that happens when we don't want to feel sadness, we don't want to feel the hurt or the pain when we're looking out in the world, and we know there's war going on, there is famine going on, there are so many different challenges that are going on, and it can be overwhelming. But the moment that we shut ourselves from wanting to feel the sadness, the hurt, the pain, we're shutting off the door to everything else, right? It's not really allowing all these feelings, including, as the reading says, a greater sense of joy, a greater sense of love, to be welcomed in us so that we can feel it. And so the invitation, I think, for me today is, how can I open the door and just allow myself to feel and to invite in whatever the feelings may be, whether they're comfortable or uncomfortable, and just be with them for a little bit. They're just guests. They don't stick around. They're not your new roommate, but they're guests, and we can welcome them as such, open the space, and maybe even have a conversation like we do with a guest, right? Like, tell me a little bit more about you. Where do you come from? Check in about why it makes us uncomfortable, and to turn it over, to surrender it to that Christ spirit within us. It says in Ephesians, right? Sleeper awake. Let's awaken to everything that is a part of the human experience. Rise from the dead. Don't let this life pass us by because we're nervous, scared, or not wanting to feel certain feelings. And Christ will shine on you. The moment we open the door, the moment we live into our lives and feel into the connection that we have with others and with humanity itself, we are opening the door to more fully being in the light of Christ and allowing that light to shine from us to others. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. That's what I got out of the reading. Tell me, when you hear the affirmation, I release any apathy or boredom. When you hear about waking up to no longer being numb and detached from the world or from challenges or difficulties, how does that sit with you? How does it move you? How do you react? If you sit with that, if you think about it, I think you will not only learn more about who you are and how you are showing up in the world, and be able to bring an even greater awareness of the healing and the wisdom and the discernment that is already a part of your divine nature. But I think you'll be able to really experience God in the relationships that you have with the world, even outside of yourself. Anyways, that's where I'm at with the Lenten reading, and I trust and pray that you get something out of it also. Have a beautiful day, everyone. Thank you for joining us, and hope to catch you all on Sunday at services, and then throughout the week as we have the other programs that are on Facebook and on YouTube. Have a beautiful day.